All right, are we live? Are we live? Is everything good? I want to make sure we are straight. Me and my son up here hanging out for the Friday night. He's back there playing his game. I'm over here playing my games. Well, not now, I'm live, but we are going to see if we can get this up and running. Look like we're good. Look like everything is awesome. Look like everything is. I haven't been live in a while. It's been like what 3, probably 4 weeks since I've been live, so I know that it's not going to be easy to get people in here right away. I mean, we'll see though, but nevertheless, we gonna rock and roll with it. 'Cause that's how we do. Shout out to everybody who's been subscribed to the channel. You guys are absolutely awesome. You guys are pretty cool. Coming through and subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. And like I said, man, we just gonna keep it rocking and rolling. Trying to get this out to the masses. Let me go ahead and share this live stream with everybody. Let people know what we're doing over here. And yeah, there we go. So that looks good. It looks like that's a little off. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Can I fix this? Let me fix this. Let me fix it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's save that. Okay, so that should be good now. Had to fix that. And I don't want to do that. Okay, leave that right there. All right, we are good on that. We're going to talk about PlayStation Network. PSN was down today, so we're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about a little bit of Need for Speed. We're going to talk about physical games, all that good stuff, because it looks like we're in a situation where physical games could be pretty much falling by the wayside, as well as Need for Speed. I mean, these are, it's kind of like a sad day in gaming, but, you know, I just want to just talk about this and give my thoughts and opinions. I think I'm going to also talk about Xbox as well. I did think about getting another Xbox Series, but I'm going back and forth with that. And I'm going to give you my reasons why on that as well. So let's see. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? So we're going to talk about PSN is down first. I'm going to make sure we're good on that end. Let's see. All right, yeah, there we go. We're good there. I want to put some music on. I like putting music on in the background, so hopefully you guys enjoy the music as well. Let's see. I don't know if I should play. I guess I'll just put this in the background and just let it run. Just let it run. And hopefully you guys enjoy this music. Let's see. Is that it? No, that's not it. Sorry. Sorry, wrong one. That's my intro. This should be it right here. All right, let's run it. Let's run it. Let me make sure that sounds proper as well, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. All right, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. So we should be good to go on that end. So make sure the audio is sounding fine. It sounds like it's good there. And yeah. So what is it? We're 3 minutes in. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started. And cut down just a little bit, baby. Just a little bit. The remote right there. No, the other one. Yeah. Just a little bit. You good, just a little bit. Put it to 6. 7. Yeah, so there you go. I just want to make sure you can hear it too, that's all. But yeah, so PSN was down for 6 hours and people were kind of freaking out. I made a video about this earlier where I was kind of letting people know, like, look, let me fix my yeah, there we go. I was trying to do this so I could let people know basically your physical games, not physical, but digital games should be okay still. You should be fine with them if you have your primary console, but there are some situations where PSN will lock you out of a game, and that kind of sucks. And that is something that you may want to you know, just be mindful of when we eventually go into all digital future. And I think it's going to happen at some point, but I do feel like Sony may be giving herself an out because they haven't said anything yet. They may be going with another type of format when it comes to disc. They did say they're going to stop producing discs, but they didn't say they was going all digital. They didn't say that yet, not that I know of. Maybe you guys know something I don't know, but I haven't heard anything of that sort. So I'm looking at this from a standpoint that maybe they go the key card route. Maybe they do like an SD card type situation. I don't know how they're going to do that, but that is something to keep in the back of your mind. I don't think it's as doom and gloom as people saying it is, but nevertheless, if they're going to all digital future, this is something you may need to think about when it comes to PSN was down. Now, I don't want to get into the whole spill about PSN was down and, hate Sony and all this other stuff. I mean, we already know how we feel about Sony, right? I mean, they just, starting to be the anti-consumer side of gaming. But what I want to talk about is why it was down. And this may be something that's something to worry about. These are all the updates or whatever the case may be. And I think it's all the way down to, was it all, no, where, I think they flipped it. They had to flip it. Because this is all the updates, so they had to flip it. So, basically, Amazon Azure or Amazon Web Services was the reason. It says right in update number 4. As far as Amazon Web Services are concerned, its system is working correctly, but there's been little improvement to PSN, which has been down for over 4 hours now. So basically, it could be an Amazon Web Service thing, or it could be just PSN still not getting their shit together, because Amazon Web Service saying like it's working good, but there's no improvement to PSN. Now, it could be either or. Nobody really wants to point the finger and take the blame for stuff like this. I can understand why. This is a PR nightmare, especially for Sony after everything that's been going on. I mean, it's only so much you can, sweep under the rug as a company. Yeah, you had a lot of goodwill since 1994. You okay?
Oh, yeah. I'm just having
fun. Okay. It's one thing to have, goodwill since 1994, but now it's starting to look like, that wall is starting to crack, and you gotta want to do some type of due diligence to keep that, save face and actually try to keep that up and running, keep that good face good and things going. But I don't know what Sony is thinking right now. I think they just feel like they're too big to fail, or they're just too far ahead of the game when it comes to gaming, that they can just brute force through all of this. And you got to blame Xbox for this to an extent, because a lot of decisions over the Xbox did not give Sony competition. Nintendo is Sony's competition, but I don't think Sony is going to try to get into that space. Nintendo got too many exclusives to even try to compete with, to be honest. They're just in a different realm. So it's like, no matter what happens, the Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Pikmin, Mario Karts, all those other games, all those IPs they have, they basically going to, be sustainable. And to be quite honest, Sony can't go blow for blow with that, because Nintendo just have this reputation that they just sell. They're not going to have the issue. Sony knows better, so they're just going to stay in their lane and just try to continue to compete with Xbox and PC, and they're just going to brute force their way through this. And like I said, at some point it's going to be so much somebody can, a customer or a company can take, to just continue to just have these things go over and over again. At some point they're going to have to address some of this stuff. Because PSN being down is just not a good look, even if you have a situation with your primary console, and your primary console could actually still play your games offline. But we already know that your whole mantra is not about having games offline. The Sony foundation now is about keeping people on PlayStation Plus, keeping people playing online, keep people continuously playing their live services, even if they're not their own live service. They just want to keep you on the platform. And if everything is offline, and how many times you're going to sit there and say, oh, this is fine, because as soon as something comes up and you want to use those services, you're not going to be able to use them. And all this buying digital stuff is just going to go out the window because the internet's not working. So they're going to have to keep it a little bit more stable. I'm not saying that it's in a terrible spot, but they do have gaps where they're down. And when PSN is down, it's a problem. It's not like how these other places are, where or the other systems are, they'll be down and they'll be down for a minute. But you have other instances where they're down and it's a problem. You know, Steam be down for a little bit, they'll be back up. Xbox down, they'll be back up. I don't even know if Nintendo will be down. I don't even be on the storefront like that, but I'm pretty sure they have their outages. But when Sony, you know, when they go down, it's a problem. And this, the thing about Sony is they've been having a bad rap with this since like 2010, 2009. So it's like they really have to find a way to keep their stuff, you know, in order, because every time when something happens to their online, is very fresh in people's memory about what happened the last time or what happened the last time. It's not one of those things like, oh, Sony's down and it's gonna be all right. You know, nah, it's like when it's down, people are concerned. You gotta understand, Sony was down for almost a month at one point, and there's another time they've been down for almost a week. There's another time they've been down for a day or so. You know, it's been an issue with Sony for a while, and even though it probably happened like 4 or 5 times within the last decade or two, that's still a lot when considering how many people actually depend on online gaming or online, you know, communication, or just online, you know, period. So when, you know, when you see stuff like this right here, when it says, you know, Amazon Web Services, you know, saying that they're fine, but there's little improvement to PSN, that is a problem. That is a serious problem. That is something that they're going to have to really, you know, they're going to have to lock this down, especially if they're going to go into an all digital future. Because like I said, people can say, oh, I can play my games because I got my primary console. But then again, when you start to look at the whole situation, when everything is offline, you can't get, you know, you can't buy stuff. You can't play online. You can't communicate with people online. It's a really big problem. What's going on, Quayface? How you doing, Quay Dog? What's going on, bro? Hopefully you had a great week, man. Hopefully everything is good. But hey, you too loud, baby. I know you good. You just a little too loud. My son is playing this game and having a phenomenal time with his game. He's playing his PS5. But nevertheless, this is what I mean. It's like you just because you can play these games offline, it kind of defeats the purpose when you're pointing your finger at people that are physical gamers and people who play games physical. It's kind of wild that you're going to point the finger at them when you're playing offline and you can't get to your games online. Like with Sony, the thing about Sony is you just don't know how dire the situation is when they go down. You know, that's just a problem. It's not the fact that they go down, you know, okay, as a glitch, they'll be down for an hour, so they're doing maintenance. No, when Sony goes down, it's a problem. And people are holding their breath because Sony don't have that good track record. You always hear about DDoSes. You're always hearing about somebody's hacking something. You heard about what happened in 2011. And the thing about it is, every now and then this tends to happen. I'm not, you know, if I'm not mistaken, I want to see if I can find this. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I don't know if they have this on here. Let's see if they have a history. Yeah, here's a history of it right here. And it may not seem like a lot, but for a society that kind of leans on being online, this is an issue. Here it is. This is a major, and these are the major ones. I'm pretty sure there was more than that. PSN has a history of major disruption, notably the 2011 PlayStation Network outage that lasted 23 days due to a massive cyber attack, alongside recent global outages in October 24, 25, and 26. So for 13 years, they was basically all right, but now this is like something that's happening every year. That's not acceptable. I'm sorry. The last 3 years, you had this problem. Like I said, this happened at 23 days in April and May of 2011. October 1st, 2024, a global outage took down all networks for 7 hours. February 8, 2025, a near 24-hour service suspension affecting users worldwide, leading to a criticized apology compensation. July 24th, 2026, this has happened. This is today, as of this live. Multi-hour outages knocked out digital games account management and PlayStation Store offline, coincided with cloud infrastructure hiccups. This is what I'm talking about. You can't have this stuff happen and think it's okay. and especially when PlayStation Plus price keep going up, and you already demanding people, or you're asking people to move away from physical copies of games. This is not a good look. Like I said, this is once every year you're going to have this issue. Some people may accept it, but I don't think that's acceptable. I mean, because one thing for certain, my internet service, my ISP don't do this. My phone don't do this. Now, have my phone been out before? I have T-Mobile. Yes, I think I know Verizon had the issue. I don't think T-Mobile has, but I know Verizon had that issue. That was like once last year. I don't know any other service that I know that have their internet down like any other ISP. When I was with Time Warner Cable, back when I was in when I used to live in Stone Mountain, Georgia, I didn't have that issue then. When I had was it Time Warner? I think it was Time Warner Cable in Stone Mountain. Well, when I had Time Warner Cable and I live in Charleston, South Carolina, I didn't have this issue. Right now, I have Xfinity. I don't have this issue where our internet is actually being down unless, they may be doing some maintenance outside. I think they had that before, but that wasn't a widespread thing. That was just to the area that I lived in. They were like putting new wires up. So this is the thing. That I can understand that type of outage. Maintenance coming and fixing stuff or whatever. But I have never had a situation where my internet just went out and Xfinity didn't say anything, or Time Warner didn't say anything, or any of my other internet service providers didn't say anything. I've never had that. So this is not acceptable when you're paying $100+ a year. That's the thing. What's going on, Dog Type? Good to see you, bro. However, if they still will not compensate, no, they're not going to compensate. It would be nice, but they're not going to do it. Now, for me, I don't have a yearly subscription to PlayStation. I do my monthly. Things like $17 a month. And, it's a revolving on my credit card. So, it works for me on that end. And, if something goes bad, I'll just cancel right away. I don't have to sit there for a whole year or whatever. But it just works out for me that way. But for $17 a month, I don't want to have, and I know this may sound like chump change to people, 17, you're broke. Yeah, we all broke. Nobody's rich. When you have you paying that type of money, you don't want your outage to happen. When you're paying $100+ a year, you don't need something like this to happen. It's kind of unacceptable. A near 24-hour service suspension, that's crazy. And like right now, we're looking at it right now, once a year, this happens. For the past 3 years, once a year. So look, trust me, I don't have a dog in the fight when it comes to digital or physical. But I do have to look at everybody's point of view and be like, hey, these people are complaining, these people are complaining, but everybody should complain when your internet or when your PlayStation service or Xbox service or Steam service is down. And the thing about it is Steam is free. And I still would complain if that's down, because like, yo, regardless of how you look at it, you still provide a service that I still give money to. I still pay to buy games off that service. If that service is down, I can't buy any games. There's an issue, so this is the, I'm not necessarily against either side. But one thing I am always going to stand on, I'm going to stand on what's right by whatever customer that's been done wrong. And if you can't play your games because the outage or whatever, that's a problem. If you can still play your games, that's cool. But one thing's for certain, everybody here, that's right, Quaydog, one thing is certain, everybody's paying into this system, and we should not have any service. And this is the thing, nothing's perfect, right? Let me fix this. I don't know why I think it's because this monitor is not holding this camera properly. Because this is a kind of a really thin monitor. But nevertheless, this is the thing, right? No service is perfect, right? Even if they was down, I wish they would say something. I don't know if Sony has responded or said anything as of yet, what happened today. But even as soon as it go down, they need to say something. Like, you need to be on the ball like, hey, we heard reports that what such and such is down. We're working on it. We'll get back into it. We'll apologize for the for the delay. We got you or whatever, and we're gonna, work on it. But Sony hasn't really been saying anything about anything as of late. And like I said, I already said it. As a matter of fact, the day before Sony decided to go and do this all digital or no disc thing, I already said the day before I made a video saying I'm probably going all digital with my PS6 anyway. So it's nothing like I'm like super upset about. I'm okay with that, but it's just that, the thing about it, you still got to look out for the people who still physical forever. I still buy physical games. Sometimes a game attached to me so well that I want to buy it physical. Like for instance, like Mouse PI. I got that digital. I love that game. I think I'm going to end up going to buy that physical because it's out now. There are certain football games that the reason why I do have them physical because I have an attachment to them. I have a lot of football games, but I have an attachment to them because I really like them. That's what I did with Madden 26 in College Football 26. I like those games so much, I actually bought a physical copy. So this is the thing. I don't mind buying these games, digital or physical. It doesn't matter. Not getting a PS6 to the Pro. Yeah, I don't blame you. Because at that point, then you'll get a better experience. But it just depends on how long you're willing to wait, though. I don't know, man, because I don't want to get too far in the woods because I got some other things I want to talk about. One thing I do have an issue with is the way that these consoles are going to be rolling out. You might be waiting a minute for the PS6 Pro because, RAM prices, other factors when it comes to what Micron is doing and SK Hynix with their RAM and SSDs. So if you're willing to wait, you're good. You're willing to wait. It's nothing wrong. Cause see me, I like to buy consoles, so I'll probably get the 6 and the 6 Pro. That's just the thing. And I'm gonna get to that in a minute when it comes to Xbox because I had no problem. I bought every Xbox that's came out, even the Xbox One, Xbox One S, the X, the Series S, the Series X, and I'm going back and forth with the Series X, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later because I want to buy it because I do miss it, but that's just the collector thing in me, and I'll talk about that later. Doc Type says I got over physical and I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm okay with it too. Like. We got to understand, I've been buying digital games. I've been buying physical games ever since I was a kid. Well, I wasn't buying it. My mom was buying it with her money. So I've been doing physical games for almost 35 years. That's a long time. I started buying my own games with my own money when I started buying games with my own money when I got my first job in 98. I started buying games with my own. So some of these games been here since 98. Some of these games have been around since 1998. So from 1998 to 2026, that's what, 28? What is that? No, that's not 28 years. Is that 28 years? Yeah, that'll be 28 years that I've been doing this. I don't need to buy any more physical games. I really don't. That's why I was like, the PS6 come out, I'm probably not collecting for that. Now, I will continue to buy certain PS5 games, certain PS4 games. If I find a PS3 game I really want, or Xbox One or original, if I can find something that I already have in this collection as far as games that I have in this collection, I will buy those. But I don't see myself buying, expanding the library with the new console. I don't see myself doing that. Quaidal said you can wait the 3 or 4 years. Yeah. If you can wait, you're good then, because I think the PS6 come out in 2028, the Pro will probably be out 2031, maybe 2032, maybe. So, if you can wait, it's no problem with that. No problem at all. But me, I'm probably going to be getting both. It's like the only reason why I didn't get an Xbox. The only reason why I didn't get a PS5 Pro yet is just I'm being lazy. I'm literally just being lazy. And then on top of that, the PS5 Pro, it's not that big of a jump that I thought it would be when it comes to the PS5. Not even when the price was $600. I mean, what the price was $799 at the time. It just wasn't worth the price for me. Maybe I'll find one used or something. My problem is if I buy a game for PlayStation, I also get it. Hey, don't feel bad. I'm the same way, man. Look, I got the whole Dirt series, Dirt 1 through 5, well 1 through 4. I got it on Xbox as well. You know, yeah, that's really a thing. There's no reason to run over there. It's going to be. That's a very good point. I didn't even think about that, Quaid. That is a very good point. Yeah, the PS5 Pro, when they said it was $700 when it first came out, or $800, I was like, it wasn't worth it. It was, to me, it wasn't worth it. So I could buy it, but I just didn't. But that's a very good point, Quaid. No reason to run. A lot of these games going to be cross-gen until like 2030. You know, you're right. A lot of these games going to be cross-gen until 2030. And to be honest, the PlayStation 5 is still capable of putting out some very good, performance. That just like the PlayStation 4 Pro. This is the thing that I do miss. And I'm about to get to the next topic after this. This is one thing I do not like about these refresh or these mid-generation consoles. The PlayStation 4 Pro was left behind. That had so much, and the Xbox One X. The Xbox with those two consoles has so much potential to actually be used to the fullest. Like, I think like with the PS3 and the Xbox 360, you start to see games that were starting to max out that console. Like, they were pushing the limit to some of those consoles. They didn't push the limit to the PS4 Pro. They didn't push the limit to the Xbox One X. You can make the case they probably didn't even push the limit to some games on the base PS4 and the base Xbox One. You can make that case. Because if you get real good developers out in there, you can make some phenomenal games with the PS4 alone. Xbox One X was a crash. I agree. Because let me tell you something. I don't know if y'all seen this. I'm just gonna put it up here anyway. Give me a second. I'm gonna put it up here anyway. Because let me put this up here. I want you to see this on my channel. See this right here? I don't know if y'all can see it, but I put this out earlier last night. I missed my Xbox Series X. This is in my bedroom. And I still got an Xbox Series S. This is a phenomenal console. I'm not joking with you guys. This console still does very. One thing about this console a lot of people don't know, it upscales for the 4K. A lot of the games, it naturally upscales the 4K. Now, is it true 4K? No, it's not. But when you start putting certain games in there, like some original Xbox games, what it does, it'll take it from the 480p, move it up to 960p, and then they'll upscale it naturally to 4K. Like, it does a solid job. And this console, I don't think it was maxed out to the fullest. I don't think it was, and it sucks. Xbox One X was a category. I agree. And that's the part that sucks. Like, this console, they didn't have the time to touch what this console can do. They didn't have time to touch what the PS4 Pro can do. So when Quaydog say there's no reason to run over to the PS6, the game's gonna be cross-gen, and some of these games are gonna be looking phenomenal on the base PS5. And that's something that people, and that's why a lot of people are saying that there's no need to go to another generation. This generation has not been maxed out yet, and I agree. I definitely agree to that. All right, let's talk about this here. Let's jump to the next one. Sales data paints a very grim picture for physical PS5 games in the US and UK. I did a video about this earlier this week. Just 7 PS5 games sold over 100K box copies. So only 7 games. 7 PS5 games sold over 100,000 copies. Now, what this means is there's a big problem with physical games in sales. And this is why Sony is deciding to move up and just forget about these discs. and if this is true, it's very hard to dispute what's going on here. Christopher Ding, I'm about to say Ding. Christopher Dring of The Game Biz has provided a small piece of context on how well physical games are selling in the UK. Now, this is in the UK. If a game sold just 1,000 box copies in the UK last week, it will already be the 9th best-selling title. That is wild. So all you gotta do is sell 1,000 copies, you'll be in the top 10. That's insane. That's pretty bad, bro. Let's see. Last week, Pokemon Legends ZA was in that position while the new Star Fox remake was 10th. This provides us with a touch more context of how well even a newly released Switch 2 exclusive perform and managed to shift 1,000 copies or less last week in the UK market. That's insane. That's pretty bad. If you had 1,000, that means an indie game could have been in the top 10. That's pretty bad when it comes to physical games. So this is the original story. Matt Piscatella of Sakana said only 7 PS5 games sold more than 100,000 physical copies in 2026. So that's 7 months in, only 7 games sold 100,000 copies. In the week of that ended July 11, only 2 titles managed to sell over 10,000 physical units during that 7-day time span. The 2 new statistics are eye-opening and highlight how poorly physical game sales are doing in the USA. They arrive as Sony announced plan to halt production of physical discs in 2028. Now, I want you to listen to it. Now, I'm going to repeat this. They're halting the production of PlayStation disc from January 2028. I'm going to say this again, and I may be wrong. That does not mean that they're going to an all-digital future. They're just stopping disc. They could easily do what Nintendo's doing and do a key card or whatever. I'm just saying, I doubt it if that's the case, but you got to think about the wording of certain things. That could be the case. Now, I'm not saying that it is, but just think about it, because key cards, they're not selling well either. Look at this. In the UK, they didn't sell Star Fox. That's crazy, right? And to provide further context as to why the company has made this decision, at least so far, doesn't appear to be interested in backing down from it. I'm not saying that they're backing down, they're just not saying anything. Like I said, they could come out and say, hey, we stopped production of this, but we're going to do this instead. So it's not necessarily, it's the end of, it's the end of everything, so you just got to think about that as well. All right, what we back at? That is despite a very intense social media campaign from PlayStation fans that seen all its posts bombarded with criticism and attacks. Now indie developers are getting caught in the crossfire. Now, let me tell you something about this as well. I'm going to tell you what's happening. A lot of people who buy physical games, they're like me. They wait for the games to be cheap. They wait till they can go to GameStop and get like 4 for $10. They go to the pawn shop where these games are like $2, $3, $4, maybe $15. They go to pawn shops. They go to swap meets. They actually buy games from each other at conventions. A lot of these people, and this is the honest truth, a lot of these people aren't going into GameStop or Walmart or Best Buy and buying $70 physical games. They're not doing that. They're not buying these games. They wait for a sale. They wait till they're used, and that's when they get them. That is, I'm gonna be honest. That's what I do. Outside of Resident Evil Requiem, I'm gonna be honest. That's the only game I bought that was $70 in the last probably 2 years. That's like the last physical game I bought for $70 in the last 2 years. So that, and I hold on, back up. I'll take that back. When my son wants a game and he wants it physical, I do buy a physical game for him. I think we bought. Did we buy Yoshi? Yes. Yeah, we bought the new Yoshi game for the Switch too. We bought Kirby Air Riders for the Switch 2. We bought what's the other Switch 2 game that we bought physical? Sonic Shadow Generations.
Yeah, you got that one.
Right. So I do now. I'll take that back. I do buy physical games at full price for if he wants it, if my son wants it. Not, but for me, Resident Evil was the last physical game I bought for $70. So a lot of people who are on social media complaining about this, right, Quay Dog, he does the same thing that people do. I mean, the same people that are on here making the loudest noise, they're the ones that wait till these games go. That the way these games are cheap. I would be stupid to buy every single game that I got back here. I'll be a damn fool to buy every single game back here at full price. I will be broke. I will be broke. And I'm telling you, nobody does that. And you want to know something else? This doesn't exclude the people that do digital too. A lot of people that's on the digital bandwagon, especially PC gamers, they wait for sales. A lot of people do not buy these games at full price day one on digital. A lot of people don't do that. And the ones who do it, they're in the minority. Don't get into it. And even when these games come out day one, they find ways to buy them cheaper. They'll find a way to get a digital code. They'll find a way to go to CD keys. And CD keys, well, it's not called CD keys no more, but CD keys do put console games out there. They do put console codes out there. Yeah, $70 is too much. I'll be a damn fool if I go out and buy every PS5 game or PS4 game at $70. That's insane. You gotta be, that's just a financial lesson. You just gotta be smart with your finances, you know? When I tell you, and I know I said this on many videos, when I say a lot of people, and a lot of people act like they got money, a lot of people ain't got it like that. And that's the damn truth. In this economy and the way things are going, a lot of people ain't got it like that. Now, do I got enough to take care of my family? Yeah, I mean, obviously, people got a lot to take care of themselves. But to do this as a hobby on top of this, for me to buy and build a PC and buy all these consoles and all these, and I'm talking about gamers who got one console or maybe two. They ain't got it like that. Ain't nobody out here got kind of money to buy all these games day one. They find games to buy at a discount. And if they're not, and if they're not doing it, they're lying. They're absolutely lying. He said, I love buying 2K at $15 to $20. Absolutely. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see something real quick.
What happened? What?
Let me see something real quick.
Okay.
Oh, it's not on sale anymore. 2K26 was just $6.99 a couple days ago. It was just $6.99. And I'm pretty sure if I go to GameStop tomorrow, I'll probably find NBA 2K26 for probably like $9.99 right now. And I might, if I'm lucky, I may get a new copy of it, a new sealed copy for $19.99. And that's where I buy my game. I bought Madden 26 and what's the other game? College Football 26. I bought both of them for what, $36 or $29.99? I think they were $29.99 a piece. You gotta be, so when I say all these people that are doing these physical games and they're on social media, they're the ones that's gonna miss out on buying these they're gonna be miss out buying these physical games at a low price at your local GameStop, pawn shop, or mom and pop shop. That I kid you not. 2K26 was $6.99 on Steam and on PS5. I wonder if it's still on sale on PS5. I want to look and see. I think the sale went out today. It was $6.99, and the thing about it is, I thought about getting it, but I do want it physical. That's the only reason why I didn't pick it up. I want it, and plus I got it on Game Pass. It's on Xbox Game Pass right now. See, here it is right here. Here it is right here. I'm not joking. Hold on, let me see. Select edition. I don't know if y'all can see this. What that say right there? It is $6.99. I know it's kind of blurry, but you can look at it, you can see it. NBA 2K20. I want to make sure y'all know how, NBA 2K26 is $6.99 right now. So it's $6.99 until the 30th. It's $6.99 for the next 6 days. Just so if you couldn't see it, I'll put it up right here. It's $6.99 right now. It's a $7 game. Hell, shit, I might just buy it just to buy it at this point. You know, I might just buy it. College football is on sale right now? Really? Ain't no way. Let me see. I think I heard that somewhere. They're saying that it was on sale.
There's gotta be fruit up there. Like, dude, there's gotta be one fruit. And this guy jumps too far, I think. I think he's too skinny. Maybe we should jump early. Here. Than what it was before. Gotta jump earlier. Yeah.
Nah, it ain't on sale here. It might be on sale on Steam or something. You're too loud, son. No, it ain't on sale on Steam. Well, I guess not. But yeah, $6.99, bro. You can get NBA 2K25 right now. I mean 2K26. Check Xbox. Let me see. Hold on, let me check Xbox. Hold on. Well, I'm pulling up the Xbox app right now. Update available. Okay.
Okay, I gotta be waffle, dude. I just have to be. Waffle's a cool guy. I could make that joke. I don't know how, but. No. I know who could do it. Peach.
I still got a 10-hour trial with this game. I need to download.
Okay, Peach. You're so bad. Peach, jump.
I don't see it here.
I know.
I'm looking at the EA app one more time and just see. Nah, I don't see it. Well, I take that back. No, it's not. Nah, it's not on sale right now. But I still got a 10-hour trial with this game. I need to download it and play it to see. But yeah, man, but that's the thing. So with that being said, like these games, they're not really selling. Not the new ones anyway. People who want these games to stay physical, they're the ones who they buy these games at a cheap price, and I don't blame them. And I guess that's another reason why nobody's out here going to buy these $70 games. And it's going to suck when it comes to the PS6, but I kind of got my mind made up. I'm kind of good on it. You know, I'm good on it. I'm not really worried about it like that. I'm not really worried about it too much. So, what's the next thing I wanted to talk about? Oh my goodness, I done forgot that quick. Let me see. What was the next thing? What is the next thing on the list, everybody? Hold on. Let me look. Oh, physical discs don't matter. Yeah. I want to talk about that for a second. Hold on. I think that's why they're holding Xbox is holding Bethesda feet to the fire. Yeah, could be. Now, this is another thing. GameStop right here, the CEO says, why is this in the way? Okay. It says that Sony's decision to go diskless is totally irrelevant. Claims that software, including physical discs, account for 12% of the company's business. Software revenue fell by 27% in 1 year. That's kind of crazy. This is another thing when you go back to talking about physical games. Now we're looking at a situation where this could show why that even some of the brick and mortar stores are not even worrying about physical discs because revenue's going down. Nowadays, if you look at GameStop, it looks like this. Like right now, if you look at this games, like you don't see any games in this picture. Like you see some over here on the right hand side over here. You see some over there. But if you really look into this store, I don't see I don't see any games. So with that being said, this could be the future of your local GameStop if you still have one around. They're just gonna have a store that looks like this. Now, when it gets to this point, I'm probably out. I probably would never step into another GameStop again because, to be honest, I don't go to GameStop for anything else but their games. When it comes to consoles or whatever, I tend to like buy my consoles from like a reputable source, like a Best Buy or a Target or a Walmart. I like to buy my consoles from them. For some reason, I've always felt buying consoles from a GameStop to feel a little janky. I could be wrong. Unless if I really have to, I'll buy a console from GameStop. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'd rather buy a used console from a pawn shop before I go to GameStop. It's just something about buying their consoles from there kind of give me a little bit cause to pause. But I don't mind buying their games there. I know that's kind of weird, but I don't know. I guess because the price difference, it costs more to buy consoles. And that's one thing I'm very particular about buying consoles like that when the price is different. Like when I buy a used console from a pawn shop, it's usually dirt cheap. Like I bought my Xbox One S for $45. I would not buy a pricey console from a pawn shop. Once it gets to a certain threshold, like if I'm paying maybe like $100, maybe $200 for a console, I'm probably going to go to the Walmart and I'll buy like a new one. I don't like buying expensive consoles at certain places. That's just me. But yeah. CEO of GameStop, one of the world's largest video game retailers, said that Sony's decision to halt production of physical game discs in 2028 is totally irrelevant to company's business. Speaking of Bloomberg Tech in an interview on Thursday, July 16th, Ryan Cohen made comments while responding to questions on how console makers going diskless might affect GameStop amid company's controversial bid to buy eBay, which I don't know why they're still trying to buy eBay. That's kind of crazy. When asked I think I talked about this in my video basically. He basically said it doesn't matter at all. So he said it doesn't matter at all. Software, it mattered in the past. Software today makes up less than 12% of the business and collectibles make up over half the business. So it's totally irrelevant. Now, when he says collectibles make up half the business, I believe this. You got people that's going around that got too much money on their hands buying these Pokemon stuff. Now, in other cards. You also have grown men going in and stealing these Pokemon cards. Like I just did a video on that, which I'll probably share that video on this. I'll probably share this video on this live stream before we're done. But yeah, they're doing that. So yeah, that's what's going on there. So in 2025, the company reported a total net sales of $3.63 billion. At $729.3 million, software, which includes physical game discs, cartridges, and digital download codes, by GameStop classification, accounted for 20.1% of the total. Lowest among product categories, collectibles brought in 29.2%, which is $1.06 billion, while hardware and accessories, including pre-owned software, accessories, hardware bundles, interactive figures, strategy guides, mobile electronics was at 50%. So people are still going to buy their consoles and stuff from GameStop, which, look, I don't have a problem with that. Like, to me, I just don't like buying hardware from GameStop. I know it's kind of weird, but I'll go to a pawn shop and buy one. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I guess it's just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just a thing that I personally don't do, I guess. And I can't explain it. Year-on-year growth figures also appear in coincidence with software revenue dropping 27% in fiscal year 24 and hardware revenue dropping 12%. Meanwhile, revenue from collectibles, covering apparel, toys, trading cards, gadgets, and other pop culture products and submission services for authentication grew 47%. So this is where they're making their money. Software dropped 27%. All this stuff with the trading cards and stuff went up 47%. That's a lot. It's a lot. It shows you right here. Get out of here. It shows you right here all the stuff that went up. Look at this. They made a lot of, well, actually, no, I'll take that back. Yeah. They went from 717.9 million to 1.06 billion. They're almost, they're nearly, I ain't gonna say nearly, they almost doubled their money. That's crazy. And software went down. It was, last year it was at 1 billion. Now it's down to, another thing that could be a problem with this, well, I'm not gonna go there. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not gonna say too much else with this. The numbers are right here. And this is why, physical is becoming much more relevant. It is what it is, and it sucks, but it's okay, Before I go to the next topic, because I'm gonna talk about Need for Speed, I want to pull this up. I want to pull this out. I want you guys to see this. Is it on? Hold on, let me cut this off for a second so you guys can hear this. I want you guys to hear this. This is hilarious. These guys, they deserve every little bit that they get right here. Here we go.
Well, police say 2 men were arrested for burglarizing a collectibles store in Webster, stealing thousands of dollars worth of Pokemon cards. You're looking at some surveillance video of that right now. Now, the break-in, as you can see, was caught on camera, and the store owner believes the suspects may be linked to other similar burglaries that have happened all across Houston. We've been telling you about them. Fox 26's Jillian Hartman has the latest for us tonight.
This is ridiculous.
Well, Webster police tell me that last week, 2 men broke into this collectibles store in the middle of the night. You can see right over here, the front door is still boarded up, and the break-in was actually caught on this camera right over there. Now, the owner shared surveillance video showing the suspects smashing the glass door, then rushing inside, ransacking the place. Police say around 2:30 in the morning on July 7th, officers responded to a burglary at Cantu Collectibles along State Highway 3 near Orchard Street. The store owner, Kevin Chapp, said he found out about the break-in after getting an alert on his phone.
This is absolutely ridiculous. They're too grown for this, bro. Look at this.
I checked the cameras, and sure enough, there were 2 gentlemen in my store. So I immediately alerted my business partner, which is a police officer. He was already on phone with dispatch. They were definitely targeting higher-end Pokemon cards. They were only here for about 60 seconds until they got spooked and saw an officer coming down the street.
Now,
so this is the thing. If this is the case, why you can't have your valuable stuff out? You got to put it in the bag. You got to put it in a safe or something. So when they break in, they're going to get like $5 cards. But I don't understand it. This is ridiculous.
officers try to stop the suspect's vehicle from leaving the parking lot here. This is what was captured on surveillance. Police say the driver refused to stop, leading officers on a 31-mile pursuit that ended in Houston near
30 31 miles they tried to get away from the cops for 31 miles. And they got caught in the parking lot. Look at this.
Westheimer and Fondren. Police arrested Nara Ouch and Ray Stidham. Both were charged with burglary. Ouch is also charged with evading arrest.
That guy on the left, he gotta be, this guy right here, he gotta be pushing 40. He gotta be pushing 40, maybe 45. And this guy right here, probably his cousin or something, I don't know. But he gotta be in his, mid-20s? Y'all are too old for this. What are we doing?
Chap believes they are connected to other burglaries at collectible stores in the area.
I'm in talks with a lot of the business owners, the local card stores in the area, and we had already had them on our radar to have broken into other places. They always have the same MO as well, which they always come around 2 or 3 in the morning.
We've reported on a string of break-ins at collectible stores in Katy, Cypress, and Bel Air, including Rev Collectibles, Omega Gaming, Ferguson Brothers, SJ Cards, and One Stop Card Shop. The co-owner of SJ Cards says that these same suspects were previously caught on separate occasions selling stolen Pokemon cards from his store. He also believes the suspects used the same vehicle in multiple burglaries. Owners are now warning other stores to have safeguards in place to protect their business.
Make sure you're completely putting away all your valuable products. Make sure you have a good security system. Make sure you have a system in place in case something like this happens. And I mean, just don't get discouraged as well, because we're all in it together. We're all trying to grow the hobby.
Now, Kevin Chap says his store here has only been open for about 5 months. He now plans to install extra security. He said all the stolen items were recovered. However, other store owners tell me they have not been as fortunate. Right now, authorities continue to investigate and are working to see if the cases are connected. Reporting in Webster, I'm Jillian Hartman, Fox 26 News.
This will never end. Until they get their stuff together, it's going to always be a problem. It's going to always be a problem. They're going to have to do something about this because it's ridiculous. They always end up getting, their stuff robbed because they're not putting their stuff away. They're not doing the right things. And even if you get broken into, if they take, a handful of, $5 or $2 cards, it is what it is, right? So I don't get it. It's kind of crazy. But nevertheless, this is the last thing I wanted to talk about. I may talk about the Xbox thing, or I may just do a whole video on it. It is getting a little late because I want to get my son into bed within the next 30 minutes or whatever. Need for Speed franchise may be on life support. The studio behind the latest installment racing series is solely focused on Battlefield. I did a video about this, but I want to touch on it again. Shout out to Anthony Lannis on Motor1.com. The Need for Speed franchise is over 30 years old. The game first launched in 1994. I remember this game came out on, I think it was on PC, PlayStation 1, and Saturn or something like that. But the studio behind the most recent iteration, Criterion, is now focused on other projects, casting doubt on the future of the long-running racing series. In an interview, Rebecca Kutas, the Vice President and General Manager of Battlefield Studios in Europe, told the publication that the studio is solely focused on Battlefield. Now, this sucks because I'm going to tell you why. There's room for Need for Speed. There's room for another racing game. Now, I understand you got, iRacing, you got all these simulation racers, you got all these rally racers out, but there's no street racer out there like a Need for Speed. I think there's 1 or 2 of them out there, but there's none like Need for Speed. Having a Need for Speed out there, going fast in these cars, driving on these tracks, running from the cops, doing all these other things, playing cops and robbers online, that will always sell. And I don't understand why they're not continuously trying to lean into that. They're trying to do all these gaming, not game, but story-driven game stuff. They're trying to have characters in the game. Look, all we need is the car, the speed, and the cops. That's it. You give us those 3 things, the game will sell every single time, I promise you. I don't understand why that EA has gotten away from that. This is a moneymaker. It's an easy moneymaker. If you sit there and tell me if they don't make a new Need for Speed Hot Pursuit or something like that, you wouldn't buy it. You're lying. Everybody will buy it. You know, and this is what I don't understand. Criterion began making Need for Speed games after Electronic Arts bought the studio in 2004, with first being Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, which arrived on consoles and PCs in 2010. It then made the 2012 Need for Speed Most Wanted. Both of those are pretty solid games. The studio began shifting away from producing Need for Speed in 2016, Battlefield 1, helping Electronic Arts Call of Duty competitor, while Ghost Games began producing Need for Speed games. Criterion would assist developing a Battlefield 5, 2042, and Battlefield 6 before returning to the last installment, Need for Speed Unbound, which I don't understand. That game just was not good. 30 years of Need for Speed. You gotta understand, I think they got like 20-something games in 30 years. Like, they were knocking games out every year, and the games were like, they were good. Need for Speed launched in the series in 1994. Yeah. Started on PlayStation, Saturn, 3DO, and MS-DOS and Windows. The game would simply become Need for Speed with the second installment in 97 and having a nearly yearly cadence of games for the next quarter century. Over its 32-year history, there's been 25 games produced by multiple developers, including various EA outfits, Exia Entertainment, Eden Studios, Firebrand Games, and more. The franchise was made available across multiple platforms, portables like Game Boy, PlayStation Portable, Android, iOS. The games have focused on illegal street racing and invading police pursuits. Listen, you make a game with these two things going on right here, the game will sell. I promise you. People have been wanting a Need for Speed Underground like for 20 years. People have been wanting another Hot Pursuit since like 2020. When you made that remake, that you knew that people wanted a remake. This is why you made that remake, because you know people wanted it. I think I said it over and over again. So what the plan stand for Need for Speed? If you're looking for a racing fix, there are no equals to the franchise. That is more no truer words to say there. But there's still some fun racing games. Forza Horizon 6 is one. The Crew Motor Fest. There's the only two they put out there. That's it. I would think there'll be some more to play. But see, that just goes to show you. They're telling you to go play Forza Horizon 6 and Crew Fest Motorsport. Need for Speed, EA needs to get back on their job and put this game back out. They need to put this game back out. I don't understand why. Well, I do understand it. But I don't understand why they don't have this together and put this up for people to buy. You know, like Need for Speed, NBA Live. There's a couple other EA games. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I hate to say this, and I hope and pray that I'm wrong. I don't know if Quay Dog is still here, but I hope I'm wrong. But I got a feeling that they're not going to make another golf game anytime soon. That may be on the chopping block as well, if it's not already. That golf game is phenomenal, and it sucks that they may not make another one. Now, the Saudis did buy EA, and the Saudis do like golf, so that may be a thing. But I got a feeling that it may not come back around, and that's going to suck. That's going to suck big time. But nevertheless, I've been up here for an hour. It is 10:19 where I live. I plan on getting my son into bed within the next 20 minutes. I'm going to do my video about Xbox tomorrow. So I'll probably just do that video. I was going to talk about that. But I'll do a video about that tomorrow when it comes to the Xbox Series X, because I am in a dilemma about buying another one. I will just explain it in the video. Hopefully you guys come and watch that. It's been great. Doc Type, Quay Dog, anybody else who came through to watch, I really appreciate you guys. I'm going to get up out of here. You guys take it easy. You guys be blessed. You have a good night, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.